Okay, and welcome back for the second example for using a line of best fit with a scatter plot. So here, this time we have our scatter plot already in. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to do a bunch of things with that information. So our first question here is find the equation of the trend line. So we need to find that equation of this line. That's what we're looking for. So we want to start by setting up our equation, how we want to set it up. So we want it to be in the form of y equals mx plus b. Okay, so first of all, we need to find m. Alright, so m equals rise over run. That's our gradient. But algebraically, which is what we should be doing, is the second y value minus the first y value over the second x value minus the first x value. So we should be using this sort of mathematics to get us there. Okay. We do this, it all does match up. Okay. To do this, we're going to use the points that we have up here. So this is x1 and y1, x2 and y2. So we've been given those points, we don't need to find them or locate them on the graph. So now we just fill in the points. So y2 is 60 minus 30 all over 60 minus 40. So now we're going to have 30 over 40, or 30 over 20 rather. 30 over 20, which equals 3 over 2. So there is our gradient. Okay. And we know it's going to be a positive gradient. We now need to find what b equals. We need to find what b equals. So we can do this a couple of different ways. We can actually substitute in to a version of y equals mx plus b. And we can use our newly found gradient to find that. So let's pick a point. Let's just pick, say, this point. All right. And we'll substitute some values in. We know that y equals 30 in this. Y equals 30. We know our gradient is 3 over 2. We know that x is 40. But we don't know what b is. Okay, so now we can keep going. We know that this is going to be 60 plus b. We do some basic algebra. And we get b equals minus 30. So there we have it. Our equation now for a is y equals 3 over 2x minus 30. So that's the equation we're going to use for the rest of this problem and the rest of this example. Okay, so here we've found the gradient. And here we found b, or the y intercept. Okay, so now we're going to use that to do some analysis. and some extrapolation and interpolation. So first off, we want to know what will they get in literature if they get 50, or estimate what they're going to get. So first off, we're going to use our first equation, and literature is our y value, English is our x value. So we're going to have y equals 2/3 times 50 minus 30. Okay, and we can actually do that by looking at the calculator. Okay. So here's our calculator. Let's type that information in. So I'm going to start with my fraction, 3/2 times 50 minus 30. And we get 45. So should we get 50 in English, we estimate 45 for literature. We'll do the same thing for the other one. Now we really should start each of these with the equation itself, just a little bit of a lack of go back into this. So if you're using your calculator appropriately and you don't get rid of anything, I can actually go back and I can change using the delete button that 50 to 86. I hit my equals and I get 99. So that should be our literature score. Now we can do it the same for the other way around as well. A little bit more involved in that one. So for this one, we're going to have 42 equals. I better get my fractions right, hadn't I? Let's make sure that I've got my fraction right up the top too. I've got it right in my calculator, it's all good. Alright, so 3/2x minus 30. I'm going to add 30 to both sides. Which gives me 72 equals 3/2x. I now divide both sides by 3/2, which will give me, it should give me 48. So let's just double check that in the calculator. Alright, so this time we're using it a little bit differently, so we can start again. So what we're doing 72 divided by 3/2, and yes, we do get 48. Same process for the next one. Only this time it's 87. Alrighty. And then we just go through that same exact process. Now remembering in algebra, whatever you do to one side, you must do to the other. If it does help you, remember that when you divide by a fraction, you are also multiplying by its reciprocal. So here I'm going to change my 72 by going all the way back And get rid of that 72. Type in 87. And I get 58 this time. And that's how it all works. So hopefully that has been quite helpful to you. Don't forget you can re-watch these videos time and again. You can go back and revisit anything that you need to be able to do the questions properly. As always, these have come from that Cambridge Mathematics textbook, and have fun with your questions. See you in the next video.